Paul for 30 years now, which is quite a long time for me. I was only 10 at the time I first met him. But we've got lots and lots of memories.
He behaved like he was 10.
Fanboy, that was. We've got lots of memories. I'm not going to mention the interviewer from the Glasgow Herald having a chat with you about the forthcoming 1998 conference. We happened to be in the 10 Bells when the Exotic Dancers were somewhere. We weren't paying any attention to them, but the whole interview was carried out in the 10 Bells, which was quite a nice write-up. The introductory paragraph was something to remember. But one of my favourite memories, I think, of working with Paul, I've been very lucky to work with him on various projects. One was organising the 2001 conference in Bournemouth. It was the first one that I was involved with, and thankfully with Paul's contacts, we really pulled out all the stops. Organised with the Bournemouth Council, getting the blue plaque on Aberline's house. We had lots of displays of original items. The Dear Boss letter was on loan from Scotland Yard, wasn't it? Aberline's scrapbook, his walking stick, and the Edo shawl, which is all we know has got Jack the Ripper's DNA on it.
I lost the walking stick.
It's certainly got my DNA on it, but this is the thing. When we were packing up after the conference, we were taking all the items out of the glass case. It's a fantastic thing. We had the Maybrick diary, the watch, everything that you can think of in terms of an object was there in the case. Very good conference, packing up, saying our goodbyes. We looked round, we were having a chat, that went well. Have you got Aberline's walking stick? No, have you got it? We suddenly looked at each other, both bowels turned to jelly. Someone's walked off with Aberline's walking stick.
Yeah. God, that was a nightmare. Thank God it wasn't the Dear Boss letter. I had the Dear Boss letter in my bedroom overnight. But we've been very lucky in a way. We've actually seen and handled most of the, spread our DNA over everything. In one way or another.
Moving swiftly on.
Get away from the shore, for goodness sake. Which bit was your DNA?
I think I was the Kosminski's descendant who... Anyway, moving swiftly on, we spoke about briefly the golden age of ripperology for Paul, and certainly my golden age, I'd say, was when I first met the likes of Paul, Mark, Galloway, because it was the time that the Casebook had just started up. Seems a long time ago now. Casebook just started up. I fired off an email to Stephen Ryder, and he's basically put online that he was in touch with Paul and Martin and Keith. Has anyone got any questions? So I just read Paul's book. It was the first, the Uncensored Facts, the first book, which for me had all the details and the references, which led my own research direction going forward. But I said to Stephen, I've got a question for Paul. Martin Kosminski, very interesting character. Did he find any more? So Stephen said, well, if you send an email, I'll forward it on to Paul. I thought, well, I'm not going to hear anything from him. And lo and behold, about 2 hours later, hello, Adam, how can I help you? And I've found that with Paul, all these 30 years later, very helpful with anybody. He's just like a guy, he's obviously a guy in the pub you can have a chat with, no airs and graces. Paul said, come along, there's a new thing started up, the Cloak and Dagger Club, started by Mark, obviously now the Whitechapel Society, so we used to go on a Saturday afternoon, go in the Pride of Spitalfields, and there'd be Stuart and Keith, Andy Aliff and Paul. We'd have a few beers, go for a curry, and have a fantastic evening. It was a really, really good time of ripperology, and it's really good to have Paul here, because I think this group as well is really reminiscent of those really early friendly days that I remember. And it's good to have Paul back here on that, so join us for this.
They're all drunks, it's just the same. Nothing has changed.
Well, he's only met you for 2 days, he already knows. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, this little ramble really is for the Katherine Amin Award for Outstanding Contribution. I know that Katherine was a great admirer of Paul's, and Paul I know was a great admirer of Katherine's, so she'd be very pleased with this award.
Oh, God.
It's not for you, I want you to take it for Stuart.
No. Funny enough, I was just going to say that. I'm sure I could have given it to Stuart.
It's well deserved. The 2024 award, Katherine Amin Award for Outstanding Contribution, Paul Begg.
Thank you very much. Katherine once observed out of my obviously not out of my hearing because I heard her say it, but I wasn't intended to hear. She said how excited she was to have met Miss Yilmaz's wetter self. I didn't know I had that effect on women, but funnily enough I do. But thank you very much for that. It means a lot more to me than you might imagine, because Katherine was a very attractive lady in all respects. I mean, she was just a delight to be with, and she was such I think she was fed up with me, because all I did one occasion was just kept on pestering her to do something for ripperologists, which she eventually did. But so that means a lot. It comes from somebody who I admire, and to have got the award. Thank you very much indeed.